Everybody, welcome back. Have you seen this? End of October.
End of October. But Rob, you know what it's not the end of? It's not the end of our streak. I think we didn't miss a single show all October.
We are the friggin' best. It's like Cal Ripken. We're the Cal Ripken of internet TV talking. We got it done, baby.
We did it.
An entire month. Woohoo!
Rob, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing pretty good. You know what that sound is? That sounds rest. That's that sound isn't scrambling to watch show after IP show.
Yeah. You know, Rob, this is the last big one that we've been covering.
It's a big one though. Big
It
one.
is a very big one with House of the Dragon. We had later on we'll be joined by Taco to talk about the finale.
Too big
And
to
then-
talk about just the two of us. I can tell you that.
Exactly. So maybe I'll finally have time to sit down and watch Andor. But I probably won't because Tales of the Jedi comes out tomorrow, so I'm probably just gonna watch that instead.
You're gonna watch cartoons?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch cartoons. I know that's the wrong choice, but it's probably what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, probably. Probably the wrong choice. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it this time.
I'm proud of you.
I figure there isn't so many, and it's at the beginning, so I can watch it. And well, thank you very much. I appreciate that and deserve it. I will, yeah, because it's what 8 episodes or something like that.
I don't know. I
very
think it's like
long.
80 minutes total.
Yeah, I can, guys. I can take care of that, right?
Yeah.
It's only like 10 minutes per episode or something like
Something
that.
like that.
Between the two things, between the one guy and who's it's.
Ahsoka and Count Dooku.
That's what. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that's what I said. I thought that was right. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Let's
Sorry.
yeah. Let's get talking here. Come on. Serious. There's news. Like we got some news to talk about real quick because we got a guy here that's gonna be coming who enjoys talking House of the Dragon as much as we like listening and or talking as well. Even though I keep getting the goddamn names mixed up, and that's not going to change, everybody. It will not change. News out of the next Netflix, Duffer Brothersville. They have their writer and executive producer for their Death Note series. I'm going to say your name, but damn you if any of you make fun of me. Like my name is Rob Clark for a reason, because I can pronounce it. Halia Abdel Magid. I hope I get that right. I was kind of saying it the sort of French way. I think it's Magid, not Magwid. Magid. Anyway, she will be doing this show. Now, you said before how much you hate Death Note.
Inaccurate. I love Death Note.
Oh, you love Death Note.
I love Death Note.
Got it mixed up. Okay. I have. I don't believe. Come on, guys. I've seen a few anime shows, not all the way through, but I've seen a few of them, and I got this one mixed up with Black Butler, I believe that one is.
So do you not know the premise of this show, Rob?
Mm-mm.
So a high school student in Japan gets a magical notebook from a demon or Shinigami, the Japanese gods of death. And if he writes a person's name in the notebook, that person will die. And
pretty rude.
You can write the name of the person, how they'll die, and when they'll die. So he takes it upon himself to pretty much put a stop to crime by executing criminals and becoming a god of death himself.
Yes.
And then it becomes a whole
death.
cat and mouse game between like an international agency trying to figure out who he is.
Who's trailing him? It's like, my name is Mr. Anonymous. My name is John Anonymous.
Well, that's the thing. It's like no spoilers about it, because Rob, I actually do think you would enjoy this because it's not like, I know you didn't like Attack on Titan and stuff.
I liked it. I just never finished it.
Yeah, but
I liked it. It's fine.
But Death Note, it's a self-contained story that goes on and happens in our world. So like, with the exception of the magic, there's not like anything weird.
Exception of magic. Come
Except
on.
magic.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not our world.
Oh,
Okay.
um, but it's a really good show about like intellectual. It's a
Oh.
and suspenseful. Like, are they going to figure out who he is? Is he going to be able to kill them before they kill him?
So it's as much a mystery as it is a supernatural kind of
No,
murdery thriller.
no, like it's a suspense. It's a suspense piece because to say it's a mystery is misleading
Mm-hmm.
because it's a mystery to the characters, to some of the characters, but we from jump have all the information. And
Okay.
what if I told you
How? Okay, go ahead.
they did every live action recreation of this has been very bad because this is
Oh,
so good.
good.
But Willem Dafoe voices one of the demon in one of the adaptations.
It was a firefight.
Yeah,
Does
but
he
it's
get?
really
Does he
good.
go over the top? Is it Willem Dafoe
No,
over the top?
no, he's not Dafoe enough, but but it's really good. It's a fantastic series. And then again, they do kind of fumble the ball at the end, but really good.
Would you?
All things
Okay.
considered.
Would you be upset? We were talking off air about Game of Thrones. Would you be upset if they kind of changed the ending then on Death Note, or would you be all for it?
No, like I would like. Well, it's not so much the ending as one plot point fully resolved. The main plot kind of fully resolves, and then they go, but what if it didn't? And I'm like, okay, now we're just doing stuff to be doing stuff.
So is it like Return of the King then, or where it just keeps going, where
I
it could have ended 5 times?
we don't have the time for me to get into it, and I would hate to. I really think this one's worth a watch, so I don't want
Okay.
to spoil it for you. I know you'll probably never watch it, but
How dare you, sir?
you're not
How
gonna watch
incredibly
it.
different. You know what I did? Did I
What?
even tell you?
What?
I started watching an anime show.
Oh, you did tell me. Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, we'll have to talk about that next week when we have less stuff going on. But Rob,
Yes.
just to bring it back to the Duffer Brothers adaptation and the writer, did you look up what this what this woman's worked on in the past?
No, I just know what she's currently working on the Talisman. The Duffer
Mm.
Brothers are doing the Stephen King adaptation. The Talisman is the book that Lucas was reading to Max at the end of Stranger Things season 4, and I think it has quite a lot to do with kind of what the plot of season 4 of Stranger Things is for some reason. So it's kind of interconnected
Oh,
for
interesting.
yes. Uh, but yes, that's all I've known she's done. Have you looked up, see if she's done anything else?
I could not spell her name
No,
properly.
it's not
So I
it's not easy.
no, so I was hoping you had done that bit, but
How
we
would
can
I? I'm just
we
kidding.
we'll come back to it and we will closer to the day of
Yeah, I
Death
think
Note.
guys, we have a bit of time if she's just hired to write it.
That's true.
Even though the story's already been written. So how many episodes? Like I said, seasons long.
It's
Show?
34 episodes.
Okay.
I don't know what the
Bizarre.
Duffer Brothers will do with theirs. I think it would be. They're also like 20-minute episodes, so I think if going any more than like 18, I think would be a mistake.
You think like a 2-season kind of a thing?
Yeah,
nine eps. They do 10 in Stranger Things, I guess.
They could probably go like
Or
8.
Sometimes not.
If they pushed it to 24 and went 888, I could see that.
Yeah, well, they also like doing 3.5-hour movies for some reason per episode.
Well, that's true. If they start doing movie length things, then it's going to be 4 episodes and it's done.
It's a binge just to get through a single episode.
Yeah.
It's like watching goddamn all the Marvel movies put together. Oh my god. And now he's left me alone to talk about anime? Okay, guys. I started watching an anime show called Vinland Tales. It turns out it's secretly almost Canadian history.
That's crazy.
you know
Love
what
that.
Finland is or where Finland is. I think the Leif Erikson guy is a little different. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right. Turns out the side button on my mouse just kicks me out
Mhm.
of the room if I click it. So I'm just gonna
Lucky.
not touch my mouse.
I thought you had all disappeared again. It's like, oh,
The Duffer Brothers
okay.
have come for Dave.
Yeah, that's it. We spoiled too much about a show that's already aired, but not, and even pre-acted. I don't know. It's getting
Yeah.
strange here, guys. It's getting strange.
So we have a last little bit of news before we get on to House of the Dragon finale.
Mhm.
We're not going to be talking about the final Doctor's episode tonight because we have special
Power
guest
Doctor.
Power of the Doctor. We
Mhm.
have 50 Shades of Geek, our good friend, joining us next week to talk about it. And we didn't feel as though House of the Dragon and we wouldn't be able to do justice to both of them if we talked about them both.
There's
at
a lot
once.
to it. There's a lot to it. And
Exactly.
guys, as much as Taco knows House of Dragon, and he knows this shit, and he even knows all their names and the names of dragons. And
You
stuff
did
like
really well last week, Rob. Don't sell yourself short.
Yes. And I knew some of the Lord of the Rings people too.
You did.
I got it, guys. I got it down. But 50 is called the curator, and you don't just get to make that stuff up yourself. It's called the curator because he knows his shit much more than I do.
These.
I think Davis become dumbfounded overseeing what's happening.
Yeah,
Here.
No, I was just gonna say, only bit of news there is that starting in 2023, it'll be on Disney Plus everywhere except for the UK. So that'll be exciting.
UK and Ireland, if that that doesn't matter. But yeah, we get it here. We have it on Crave. Now I don't know if that means taking just the new Who, like they do in oh my god, you will be reprimanded. So I don't know if that's going to be just the new Who going to Disney Plus, if that's new and the classic Who. Currently, you have to get two different things to get it all. You have BBC, what is it? No, British something or whatever through Prime. You have in Canada, and then it's Crave TV.
Yep.
To get the rest of the stuff. So yeah, if they could amalgamate it into one spot, Disney Plus, that's fine. I don't know if that means Doctor Who's going to show up on Star Wars, which he should. He could do it. He can go anywhere he wants. I would like to see a Doctor Who and Chewbacca holiday specialty with Doctor Who.
I would love a holiday special. Speaking of which,
mm-hmm.
No, we can talk about this. This is an off-air conversation. But Are you ready, Rob? Are you ready to go to a realm far, far away in our imaginations? Not Star Wars.
I do not have an imagination, as you well know.
Sad.
I drank it out of me. But we have Taco coming next week. This week, returning for a third time. A third time. This guy can't get enough of this, and I don't blame him. Guy, my favorite guest, named after a Mexican sandwich. Take that, Chimichanga Jones. Our buddy Taco. Taco's here.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, sure, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear
cool. The good mic isn't working, so I'm using the normal mic, and sometimes you can't miss and match. Anyways, hi. Sorry about Chimichanga Josie just breaking his heart right now.
Breaking his heart.
He's going to be messaging me in a second. Us Mexican food names all get together. We all hang out.
Oh my god.
Yeah. You should read the things he says about you. I was being,
Chalupa Batman. Have you guys ever met Chalupa Batman?
Oof. Only once at a Christmas party.
He's Jala Joey's nephew in the league. I was thinking I should make a league reference, but then I remembered that this was a TV show, so I totally can. Welcome to TV references.
This is what it's for. This is what the entire thing's for. Taco, good to see you.
Hey.
Fulfilling your once a season requirements to come on
3 times this season.
Well, no. Read that episode title. This is season 3. Episode 10.
Oh, is it? Well, I never look.
Also, not even the name of the show. We call
Yeah.
it.
We don't even. Guys, most of us on the show don't even pay attention.
The dance of
to any
the
of this
season
shit.
finale.
Oh my god.
Have you seen this? Season 3, episode 10.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is that what this is? 10 episodes.
Of this season.
I thought it's of the show that we're on. There's been 3 seasons of Have You Seen This?
Yeah. No, so you came on like way back in the day to talk about Boba Fett. Then you came on at the beginning of how they came on at the
I was a
House of
guest.
the Dragons.
Back before you guys could get any real big names, I was your guest.
We weren't even in color. We weren't even in color. That was in black and white.
Was that
back,
when my
back when Dave was Daniel and Snark was still Snark?
Mm-hmm.
It's good to have you.
Dave did not even have corporal form back then. He was just the ghost that lived in the back of the computer.
I remember after like a year of streaming with Daniel, he once talked about the chair he was sitting on, and all of us collectively were like, I thought you sat on the floor just because of like his posture. And it turns out we were working with him for a year. We thought he just like Indian style on the floor. And it just was all in our head. He didn't.
Spoilers. I worked with him for years, plural, and I thought he was on the floor.
In his closet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you go into his living room and have a little whiteboard behind him accusing all of us of conspiracy. That being said, what happened to him?
He's in some cement pit.
We are not at liberty to discuss the corporate big-eared entity that is currently holding Daniel in an undisclosed location.
Yeah. I just got a text from a private thing that said, "Keep your mouth shut." That was really scary.
Hey, no. As long as you don't talk shit about any celestial body themed superheroes, I think you'll be fine.
I will keep my mouth shut about how I feel in general about current Disney Plus stuff.
You can talk about, all right, you can talk Star-Lord. You can talk Star-Lord. But you can't.
Can I talk Rhaenys and Rhaenyra and Daemon and Aemon
that's their names? Yes, of course.
Yes,
that's why.
Before you do, Taco, I want to ask Rob.
Oh boy.
Which one's Rhaenys and which one's Rhaenyra? You got it last week.
Rhaenys is the queen who isn't crowned, right? And Rhaenyra is the one who put a crown on her head and we don't know she's queen.
Okay.
I still don't know if he's right or wrong. Like he answered that so slightly right.
Yeah. Like everything you said was technically correct.
Yeah. Yes. I messed up Rhaenys and Rhaenyra the first time I came on.
Rhaenys is at the what is it?
Driftmark.
Driftmark, yeah.
Driftmark.
Yes. The other one's banging her uncle like a sicko.
Like a sicko. I mean,
he's never come out this hard against incest before.
I sure hope he has.
Oh my god!
I want to know is Manitoba and Winnipeg like the Alabama of Canada, or is that
no? That's like Alberta. That's Calgary.
Northern Territories and North Dakota of Canada. No one's there.
What does it tragically have to say? It's the Paris of the prairies out here. Paris of the prairies out here. For what's that's worth.
Rhaenys is not the niece.
No, Rhaenys isn't the niece.
Oh, whoa.
There you go.
I don't even know.
No, so Rob, you were right. That's just
Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra, there you go.
Yeah. Her kid got gobbled up like a cookie monster.
Whoa. Can we talk about this, please? Can we start from the beginning, or are we going to go right to that?
Well,
no, let's go from the beginning.
Before we go, we can talk
I got a whole season and an entire history book to talk about. I have so much I want to talk adaptation.
I want to talk mushroom because you promised me.
I told you all both that mushroom.
He was in the background.
Okay, they can say that all day long.
He was. They got a little first.
Until they're like, "Hello, this is my friend Mushroom." That's could be anybody.
Oh, yes, that's true. I thought maybe he was that dude singing the song over and over again at the tree.
No.
That guy isn't.
And then I heard he was like the court jester or something like that at one point.
He is. With a really large Johnson, according to him.
Bragger.
Yeah.
So, Taco, me and Rob have got to talk about House of the Dragon every week. The ups, the downs. Like I did not like last week's week's episode. Rob didn't like. I did. I had a lot of problems.
I had one.
I liked it.
I wouldn't even call it negative. I commented on a friend of our channel, I think, or a friend of my channel, I believe a friend of your channel, Galaxy Geek. I commented on one of his like posts that was like, "Would you guys like it? A, B, C, or D?" And I clicked A, and then I said, "Hey, I really enjoyed it. I think the ending was a little silly." And then I got death threats, just saying, just silly.
I was out here
that's all I
saying I
said.
didn't like
I
it.
thought silly. And at the end, I was like, all right, fine. It's all right. Calm down. Silly isn't even that big of a... I wanted to say, like, I still clicked A. I still thought it was great. but you know, the fact that Rhaenys needed to make her boss bitch entrance and have to murder hundreds to thousands of small folk just to have a boss lady entrance seemed a little excessive. And then somebody's like,
about rich people.
Well, and
That's
somebody's
true.
like, they've always killed small folk. And I'm like, yeah, but Rhaenys, like, it seems like you can have one lord or lady that's not like, kill the small folk. Like, maybe one who's like, hey, maybe they're kind of people.
Yeah.
Well,
like-
think of it this way. Now they don't have to pick and choose someone for the dragon seat. They're already dead. They can just bring them downstairs. Look at what they've done.
Yeah, but
There's a-
maybe
they've taken the
maybe
guilt out.
it was the dragon keepers themselves. Like, hey, you can leave, but we're kind of low on meat, so get us.
John is right above here. I saw him walk in. That guy owes me $50 and he slept with my
I
wife.
was so gonna say it owes me money. You beat me to the joke.
That John's
But-
a piece of shit.
Taco,
That
what have
piece
you
of
thought
shit.
about the season as a whole before we get into this finale?
Let's talk adaptation, right? This is
I do.
something I want it to be said. So,
Yeah.
Fire and Blood, maybe is it like 3 or 4 chapters? This entire show is going to be based on. This season is mostly inside one chapter called the Heir of the Dragons. So heir to the throne. Okay. Anyways,
Mhm.
I have a speech impediment. And the hard beer I'm drinking is a V8 original right now. So
Ooh,
I'm getting a little drunk on veggies.
This is true.
call the cops.
I left it out in the sun so it would ferment. But
Oh
I'm
my
kidding.
gosh.
Okay, so what you could do, right? You can look at adapting a very loose, this happened this year, this happened this year, this happened this year type history thing, right? You could adapt it the way they did, or maybe you could adapt it like, okay, let's cover this every season would be like 5 years. Okay, well, we don't know anything that happens here. Well, we can create a storyline, that isn't mentioned in the books to kind of get us involved in other characters. Maybe there's a reason why Daemon hates Otto. We could show that. Or maybe there's a reason why Daemon doesn't even want to go meet his wife. Like things like that. We can cover it in between, and maybe at the end of season 2 or season 3 we're going to get to the Dance of Dragons. And then when we get to a moment that happened that we talked about in the book, we just make sure we have that in, right? So it's not like adapting the book straight up, but using the book as a guideline, and every season or so, you make sure it gets to these really big beats. Because then once it actually gets to the Dance of the Dragons, which we're going to learn, it's pretty bang, 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 bang. There's no more year time jumps.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be this person dies, then this person dies, and then everybody dies. And this guy's introduced, and this guy dies. That's going to be the rest of the show. So they didn't go that route. What they decided to do is only adapt in these chapters, only adapt the stuff that they were brought up in the books, and then flesh out those scenes and decide how they actually happened. Right? We know that this. Well, what? What am I missing?
Well, like the Rhaenys stuff from last week, like that didn't happen at all.
That didn't happen. You're right, and I'll get to that. And then that's going to be my next point. But like the Black Council or Green Council, they could decide actually how Wyman Beesbury dies. Like they got to say
That's the one that jumped into my head.
The only reason they introduced those low balls.
Yeah, maybe. He's either gets a throat slit, he's tossed out a window, or he's tossed down to the cells, depending on who you ask at the books. But then they decided, we'll go with this. They got to decide, did, Rhaenyra and Kristen Cole actually bang? They decided, yes. So besides those things, and then another thing that they had to do, and this is my biggest concern, this is my biggest criticism, right? They decided, we're going to do episodes that take place in 1 or 2 days, right? So now everything that happens in this year that we need the cover now has to take place in these 2 or 3 days, right? So no longer can Kristen Cole get spurned, hate Rhaenyra, and then later down the line murder Joffrey Longmouth in a tournament, which is what happens. He kills him during a melee. It's not considered murder. It's an accident, but we all know because we're book readers that Kristen Cole did it on purpose. But now he just straight up murks him at the wedding, right? They have to find ways to say, well, in this year, this happens, and this happens. Now it's all going to happen in a day, and we have to justify that. And big, huge storylines are created out of that necessity. And it's very odd to me that they took that route. I'm not saying it was a bad route, but it's very odd that they took that. We're going to, instead of doing it all really big, we're going to shorten it and only adapt the stuff in the books, and that's it. And yes, they create some things, but it's kind of more like they do one episode where they create, like, the hunt wasn't in the books, but they did it so they can pretty much tell us the entire political landscape, without doing it. This way we can learn everybody who hates everybody and things like that. But I don't know. That's my main, I don't even know if I want to say criticism, essay, observation for this season.
Thoughts
is they decided to adapt it in a kind of odd way. And
the one thing that got me, like, as a guy who had no idea about the story, and I had no idea about the books, again, with the names, I had to remember who the Joffrey guy was and put it back together. But I got it now, and I know who you're talking about.
Perfect.
And I thought that was that was the one scene that I did not get. I didn't understand why Kristen Cole just decided, like, the guy says, "Oh, we both have the secret that we share and stuff like that." And the guy's like, "Okay, now I'm gonna kill this fucking guy with my bare hands to death and watch his head turn into fucking hamburger." It was fun. It was fun to see that, but I didn't understand why it was happening.
The most insane, most fictional part of this whole story, well, there's two. That Viserys lived as long as he did, because that fucker should have died in episode 2. He was on death's door the entire show. Every episode, me and my wife would watch and be like, "This is the one. This is Viserys' death watch."
I think we talked about it on the show a couple of times.
I knew it wasn't going to happen.
Me too. Like, I knew exactly when it was going to happen, but I was like, "Oh, maybe they're changing things." But then the second thing is that by episode 10, Kristen Cole still has a job. Like, that guy should have gotten fired.
Good old Christmas Cole. There's a couple. I follow a lot of YouTube that's talking about some fire people, and there's like two different guys, Alt Swift X and Glidus, who just use a different C name every time they say Kristen. They'll call him like Crispy Cole, Christmas Cole.
Oh, that's fun.
And now it's way past they're using words that don't even like.
At this point, you don't even know what his real name is.
Yeah,
Kevin.
Good old Cumberbatch Cole. Wait, what? But all right, I have one more thing when we're talking about adaptations, and then I'll get this out of my way, and then we can actually talk about dragons and incest and how awesome it is, I guess.
North Dakota.
I mean, I wouldn't bang my uncle, but he looks nothing like Daemon. I want to say I've never been tempted to that level. Yeah, no, that's what you did, South Park. Okay, here's another thing. They decided to make characters who are kind of like mustache twirling villains, kind of a lot. Every character is one note. I'm going to say in the book, because we don't get to know any of them, all of them are one note. Rhaenyra's one note. Like, everybody's just kind of one note. Yeah, because we don't meet them. We hear about them, So they then decided, let's make these flat characters round. And how they decided to do it with the majority of the characters was to make them sympathetic, which is like the thing we do now, right? We like sympathetic characters, but they are changing their personalities to make them likable and sympathetic, but their actions, they can't change from the books because it still needs to lead the war. Yeah. So they have to leave their kind of idiotic and, more evil actions in there while they're making the characters more likable, like Viserys. Viserys in the book is a fat, I'm allowed to say that word because I'm chubby.
You're in good company here. This is a safe space.
He is a fat, drunk party guy who dies of having a bad heart, right? And he just hates conflict, and he's like, "Hey guys, stop fighting, let's do shots." That's him for like 30 years, and then he doesn't take care of anything because he just doesn't, because he's a drunk and he's kind of an idiot. And then when he dies, there's a succession crisis. That makes sense. But now we decided he's not. He's actually a really thoughtful guy. He loves he for some reason loves his wife. He loves his daughter. He's not that just drunk party animal. He's falling apart. He's very sympathetic, but he still makes this really idiotic decision to not fix the succession crisis, and it leads to civil war. So the point I'm trying to make is they're making the characters more likable and sympathetic while they're keeping their dumb actions in place, and that doesn't make sense. I can keep going with almost every character.
Yeah.
Rhaenyra, the big one, is they in the books it's a little more cloudy on if her kids are bastards, specifically because Rhaenys, their grandmother, has black hair in the books. She looks more Baratheon than she looks Targaryen. Rhaenys does in the books. So you could easily say, no, that's just like the Baratheon coming out from Rhaenys. And of course, there's still people saying they're Strongs, like, the Greens are still saying it. But now they made that decision for us. But not only that, but they also made Rhaenyra really level-headed and really smart. But she then still makes this boneheaded decision to have nothing but bastard children and then deny it. It just seems a little goofy to me.
Yeah.
It just does. Yeah.
I agree with you. Like there's a lot of, I think, with the exception of one character, right? Like a lot less in the show. I think a lot more of them have,
Crispy Cole?
No. Well, no. I think he plateaus for me. He's the exact same book.
I had to bite my lip for like 5 episodes because everyone's like, "Oh, I like Christmas Cole," and then I'm like, "He's a monster!" Like I just know how he's a straight up thug. He's a violent guy. He'd rather kill somebody than open the door for them. And it's just who he is. My wife, we caught up completely in like 5 days. We got ready for the finale. She wasn't watching it at all. We watched all of it. She's straight up shipping like Kristen and Rhaenyra, and when she finally like pulls him in the room and like gets him to soil his white cloak, I'm like, we should be cheering this on. But when she does, my wife's like, "Oh, they're so cute. I love it." I'm like, "He's a fucking monster!" but you don't know yet. You know, nobody knew but the book readers for like half the season. This dude will just crush your head if he's angry at you.
Yeah. Now. No, the one person I don't think is as good is freaking Lionel Strong. Not Lionel Strong. Larry Strong. I think he's way worse because I just don't think that actor's very good.
For Fetish Strong? Come on.
Yeah. Because I think like I've talked about this with Rob last week where I was like, one of the big like not mysteries, but just like hanging chads in the books is
what's the deal?
What does he actually want? What's going on
with him?
What's he doing? And in this, it's just like he just wants to jerk off to some feet. And I'm like, that's the worst thing you could have said. But anyway, everyone else I find I think you're right. The motivations of them are still because we know their ending, their motivations can't always line up with the characters we know. But in some cases, I think that actually has improved a lot of the characters. Like I look at Alicent, where I think Alicent's a way until the misunderstanding at Viserys' deathbed.
I thought that was cheap.
Until that, I'm like, she's a much better character in the show than she is the books.
I didn't like that until the next episode where they fixed it, where I was like, oh, she's gonna throw the whole world of the chaos because a guy dying of leprosy who they just have been keeping high and not talking to all of a sudden says something, so now you're going to overthrow everything. But then when she says it at the small council, like, hey, Big Daddy Patty said that Aegon's the king, and then all of them go, well, we're going to do it anyways.
Yeah.
I like they're like, oh, we're going to overthrow him anyways, but
I like that
cool.
part.
Anyway, let's get into the finale, starting with Rob. For a couple weeks now, me and you have been talking, and I've had to bite my lip when I've said, man, it sucks that they killed Corlys off screen. And you're like, yeah, I really liked that guy. Corlys is not dead. He shows back up. How do you feel about me lying to you for so long?
I feel that I knew in my heart my heart of hearts that you are a huge liar, and
You've been talking
you
about
were never to be trusted. I was glad. I like Corliss, so I was happy to see him back. I wish he would. You'd see him do some more fighting. I wish when you see him go away because Corliss is gonna go whip some assholes on the steps, and then you don't see him ever do any on the stepstones or whatever.
I never want to hear about the stepstones ever again.
Yeah, well now you don't have to. So, so he's back. He's nephewless now. Now in the books, that guy isn't his nephew, right?
No, it was his brother. In the books, in the books,
cousin.
It's his nephew. It's a bunch of nephews, isn't it?
It's a bunch of nephews, and it's his cousin.
Okay, but no,
Vaemond is his cousin, and there's 5 people, and they're called the Silent Five afterwards because they chop all their tongues off and kill him. And then but I mean, I might be wrong. Actually, somebody who is watching in the comments, who I know she just got through all these chapters because I know she's listened to Fire and Blood. So maybe she could be like, no, Vaemond's his blah blah blah. But I want to say cousin.
I think they're all nephews, but that's not the important thing.
No.
Here. But yeah, he is sonless. He's in this show. He's brotherless. He's got a cane. He's got a dope cane now.
Yep.
Spoilers.
Yes.
Yeah,
spoilers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know what we're spoiling.
Yeah, your idea. That's your idea.
I have no clue, because I like said, hey, this person in the comments, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what she's spoiling.
Yeah, the one dude's dead. Pretty much, I can guarantee he ain't coming back.
Yeah.
Well, without giving away why, it is important for future events that his entire family is pretty much dead.
And they're not in Game of Thrones.
Well, yeah, but that's not what I mean. Is there is a really big event that happens Valarian-wise that wouldn't make sense. So they have to kind of establish that he's kind of running out of heirs, like that Corlys is. But
that's a spoiler that I already spoiled.
Sorry about that. Sometimes I forget what people know and what people don't know.
Me and you have read the books. Rob doesn't know how to read.
Well, I don't read the book.
My secret shit.
Oh, so do I.
Yeah, I listen to them. They're all on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But
no,
Rob,
in between episode 1 and episode 2, I did the entire book again. In that 1 week, I just
I've got to
whole
do that.
It's easy.
Yeah. Rob, so I jumped on with Corliss and me being a big fat liar.
Yeah.
But what were your thoughts on this finale? And you did, by the way, you've been calling for weeks. Taco, I don't know if you've been watching, but I was asking Rob, who's the big death going to be this season? And he was calling for Jace's head the whole time. He's
Yeah,
like, it's going to be Jace. It's going to be Jace. And I was
they
like,
go after little Junior. Little Junior. Oh boy. And I thought for sure that it was going to be like an on purpose thing. Like, why are you going to chase after this guy if you're not going to try and kill him? And then they make it out to be like an accident and look like an accident or something like that. I didn't get that. It's like,
Vagar, whoa, why did you do that? I wasn't trying. Bad Vagar. Good job.
Yeah, no shit. It's like, and the look on his face at the end, although he looks like a 70-year-old man, he's like,
yeah, he is.
Shit.
He's the youngest. Well, he's not the youngest. He's the.
Yeah.
Well, no, there's a child we haven't.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, there's one of the kids we haven't seen yet, but he is supposed to be one of the younger ones in his family. He looks like he's older. But
the actor is 20 years old. He's
only 20.
Yeah, the actor is actually younger. When everyone's like, "Why did they cast so old?" No, why did they cast so old looking? The dude's young.
I didn't look like that at 20.
Well, when you decide at a young age that you're going to become an anime villain, you actually age sooner.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, look at the guy, man.
Legit, I still have a hard time remembering that character's name. I still do. Can I
tell you?
I only want to call him Blinky.
You know how he's like a wannabe Damon, right?
Oh,
so you take the D and put it at the back. Damon. You just move the D around.
I think that entire family only has like a select group of letters to use for names.
It's like being the Pope.
Like they have to switch them around every once in a while.
Damon.
There's a V. They can use a V if they want.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's
I
got to
like
be
the
an
thing.
A, maybe an E in there. Put an
Usually
I.
in that
Yeah.
A,
No
in that
O's,
order.
no U's.
And then a Joffrey randomly.
Yeah. Strange.
Well, your fake dad's real lover was named Joffrey.
Your new name is Hamburger Patty. You're named
Because
after
your
your.
fake dad's real lover was really into hamburgers.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus
Gross.
Christ! This
That was
is, Taco,
gross.
missed having you on shows, buddy.
Mhm.
Well, how do I not believe you when you say that?
Well, you know, believe
Well,
it or not.
when you insult me, it means that we do a good show. But when you're complimenting me, I'm like, oh no, what am I doing? I need
Yeah.
to shut up, don't I? Well, I love your input.
yeah.
Okay, I'll shut up.
So, Rob, good finale, bad finale. You never.
I
gonna watch
really
the
liked
show
it.
again?
I had a lot of fun watching it. I'm glad to see that we might not have as much time jumping. Now they're actually just going to be fighting, I think, for a bit, unless they just have they keep. I don't know how long they fight for, guys.
2
You don't have
years.
to tell me that. 2 years. So that isn't much at all. So you can they time jumps through 30 years, 20 years. How long were the time
Something
jumps
like,
this year?
like 28. I think the first one was like 6 months, and then it was 2 years, and then it was 5 years, then it was 10 years, then it was another 5 years.
I have
Time.
one question. And yes, it has to do with the finale of the
Good.
show.
Okay.
All these dragons lost for centuries, and then they're just found super no problem. What's up with that?
What do you mean?
Like the great big dragon that Damon's first wife found, and now Blinky has. He was lost for a while, and then at the end he's singing to some other dragon that's been lost for a while.
Yes.
Ooh.
So it wasn't. So Rob, it's not. And Taco, you can cut me off if I'm talking. Talking.
You literally say everything about dragons. I'm obsessed with them.
But it's not so much that they were like absconded forever. If you remember back in episode 2, like she was talking about, you hear sailors in Spicetown say that they can hear him sing. Vagar singing. Thank you.
Her. Vagar's a she.
Vagar. You can hear Vagar's cries down in town.
Pronouns are important, man.
They are important. You're right. You know,
even for dragons.
Yeah. Even for dragons, who I think are like seahorses.
They're actually they're totally asexual, but the pronouns are still important.
Yeah, but like. Okay, Taco, you go. You totally
figure it out, man.
You totally. But it's like they knew roughly. Like it's been around. Just it was, as they discussed in this episode, it was an unclaimed dragon, and like it didn't have a rider for a while, and they deleted a scene where the little girl goes and claims Vagar because they were like, we're doing it in episode 6 with Aemond.
I'm assuming it's because it's exactly the same as the little Aemond doing it.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. We don't need to hit that beat twice.
So
he was just out there.
Yeah, and he's out there because his rider, or she, now you're making a lot of people call her Nanny Vagar because she's an old grandma.
Yeah.
Old great Nanny Vagar. So original writer was Visenya, who was Aegon the Conqueror's, this is how far back we're going, Aegon the Conqueror's sister wife, his oldest sister wife. His other sister wife died during war along with the dragon, but Vagar continued to live on. And Vagar continued to be the second largest behind Valerian the Black Dread. And I'm going to forget all of the writers for Vagar.
You don't need to name them all.
I won't. But after Visenya died, somebody else wrote Vagar, and then somebody else wrote Vagar. And I want to say it was Balin, aka Viserys' dad. I want to say. If not, then it might have been Viserys' mom. But either way, she was just written, and then unclaimed dragons just kind of do their own thing, either in the dragon pit or the dragon mount on Dragonstone. I say the word dragon a lot. But I do kind of like that they just decided that Vagar is too big to be kept at any of the places, which isn't a thing at the dragon pit. They don't really make a big deal in the book about Laena getting Vagar, but I kind of like that it is. But also, it now tells us in episode 2 that Vagar's giant. Like, that's all we get to learn. He's like, too big for the dragon pit. And all of us are like, Wait, what? Who's this beast? And then when we finally see Vagar's beast.
In this, to bring it back to this episode, when you see Vagar looming over Storm's End, like fucking Godzilla.
Just a Godzilla in the background.
Awesome.
It's just the Godzilla over there.
It's like, oh boy, we got problems. There's
a line that Rhaenyra says, and I got mad. And I'm like half watching my wife, half watching the show, like, are you gonna catch it? And then she's like, all right, little second son of mine, I want you to fly the Storm's End. It's a way closer flight. I'm like, He's like, and they'll love to meet a prince. I'm like, oh, there's already a prince there. And it's like, it'll love to meet your dragon. It's like, there's already a dragon there. Like, I know. And then she said, it will be a warm welcome. And I'm like, that's sick. That is messed up, writers. Because I assumed I thought he was gonna roast because we didn't know how he dies. We just know that they die in a dragon fight. I thought they were going to roast him. So I was like, that is messed up, right? Yeah. But I was wrong.
Yeah. And you assume, like, they don't make it as big a deal, but they assumed that the Baratheons would be, like, totally down with them because of the Rhaenys connection. Because, yeah. But, Rob, also, just to circle back, it's also, they make a point, I think Viserys says it earlier in the season, where he talks about there have never been this many Targaryens alive at one time. And since only Targaryens or people with Valyrian blood can claim dragons, if there are 7 Targaryens and 7 dragons, and then one of the Targaryens dies, now we just got a free dragon that nobody's claiming. So there could just be, and Daemon talks about it in this episode, where they're like, we got 13 dragons, they got 4.
Right. And it seems like there's another Targaryen born every goddamn minute on this show, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of
But now there's some replacements. So, well, you don't have to worry about the one dragon anymore. What's his name? True. Yeah. He's in bits and pieces.
Oh,
Araxes, not Caraxes.
No.
Arax.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a pain on the Arax right there.
That was. If we can just jump right to the
dragon
sky
died.
fight.
A dragon died. Okay.
It wasn't a dragon. It was like a whelp. A whelp.
Yeah.
That's true.
I do want. I got a quick little joke. So like Luke lands, and then like somebody comes up to him. And then he's like, watch after my dragon. I bet you never seen a dragon before. And they're all like, yeah, we sure haven't. Look over there, buddy.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. I know Dave wants to move on, and this is his show and stuff. But and all
it's
that
Rob's show.
Crap. Well, I know it's Rob's show. I was lying to you. I do like. There's one change in the show, and I want to know if you guys think they should have went this way. So when Luke comes in, we already know. Like, book readers know at this scene that Aemon was there first. So we already learned that Aemon's there before he even gets there. So Aemon gets a pick of any of the 4 daughters from Boros. I hate Baratheon names are just as bad. I'm sorry.
I know.
They are. They're like Ormond, Ramen.
Yeah. One of them's named Robert, for God's sakes. Can you imagine?
What a crap name. One of my best friends is named Robert. Anyways, he goes... There's a much bigger push about gender and succession for him because he says like, hey, I respect the Targaryens and stuff, but none of my 4 daughters are getting the throne. You know, like I'm waiting for a son to pass down to. Like he is honoring and he has to honor these rights. So you can see how he's like, or kind of a reason why he's upset that apparently Rhaenyra doesn't. Like, why do the Targaryens not have to do this one? I'm waiting for a son. And then he says, when Aemon comes in, he's like, you can have a pick between you and my 4 daughters. And he actually like kisses them all, which does not seem like the Aemon in the show. Because he seems kind of like sexless in the show. Like
and they're probably not related. They're also probably not related to him.
They're slightly related.
Okay, good. Then he is.
They're slightly related. But yeah. But anyway, so he picks one of the daughters, and then when Luke comes in, there's a scuffle, and he's like, I'm going to follow you out and cut your eye out. And then Boros is like, no, you're not. You're going to stay put, hang out. He's going to leave. And then one of the daughters says, who who's considered the
Yeah.
ugliest one, and the youngest one says like, "Oh, did he cut out your eyes or your balls?" or like something like that, like challenges his manhood, and then he's like, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna go kill him now, like because he gets challenged.
Did they cut off your balls with the eye?
Yeah, or something. Yeah.
Ooh.
So, do you think that you're happy that they went this route? In like kind of seems like an accident, or do you kind of like it where he's like, I'll let him go, I'll get the eye later, and someone's like, and then he goes and does it.
Well, it wasn't much of an accident. I would have rather heard her say that goddamn line. Like you cut your balls off with your eyeballs. Like, oh my god! Now I get it. Now I get away. So you just maybe have them just kind of simmer or whatever. It's like, fuck, I wish I could get the shit out of you. And then it's like, oh yeah, because you're a fucking huge coward. That's why you're not gonna do it. It's like, oh, I'm gonna do it. So yeah, no, I would have rather had something like that.
I actually really like this change because I think putting all the power in Eamon's hands as opposed to showing him as being like super for events that are to come, we need to believe that he is as like powerful as he can be. And just because of, I don't want to get into spoilers, but him getting like teased by a 12-year-old girl to go kill his nephew, like that kind of
the tale as old as time. Tale as old.
And I also really like it's very in character when we get the Vagar no and everything like that, because I think I forget who said this, but I was reading somewhere that it's
dragons
like
are not slaves.
No, well, yeah, that dragon. It goes back to what Viserys talked about in the very first episode, where it's like the fiction is that we control the dragons. The dragons are their own beasts, and it's kind of like the Stephen King bully who goes too far and is like cutting the guy open in it. It's like, fuck, I shouldn't have done that. And the entire time, that's been who Aemond is, where they're at the pig roast, or they're at the big feast, which Viserys' Last Supper, which I think is the best scene in the whole show.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, and he gives that toast about strong, and all he does, he's not at that point, he's not going to kill, he's just going to humiliate and embarrass people. And I think that's all he wants to do.
I do think he wants to chop his eyes out. Like, I don't think that.
Oh, no, I definitely think he wants to chop his eye out, but I think like kinslaying is such a big thing in the faith of the
deal.
In the faith of the Seven, especially with how pious they've shown Alicent to be in this. You got to imagine that would be like a big no-no for him.
Yeah,
and then he is also the guy who's done everything right and he's not interested in more bloodshed. He just wants to get his pound of flesh, but he's not out here to start a war. I don't think we'll get it next season, so I'm fine saying it, but there's a great line that Otto says in Fire and Blood where he says, you only have one eye, but you couldn't have been that blind, in reaction to killing Luke, because it's like, you fucking idiot. We could have talked this out, but you killed Luke, so now it's war. And I'm kind of sad we didn't get that, because I think that's very much. I don't think we will, because I think we're going to start.
Right?
No, because I think season 2 we're going to start. We're going to do.
It's already on.
It's already on. We're going to do like Jace's magical adventure up north, where he meets Cregan Stark and stuff.
I think that will take quite a while because he still needs to go to the Vale.
Yeah, I think we're going to skip Lady Jane entirely.
What?
Yeah, I think so. They do not seem interested in Lady Jane at all.
Come on. I love it. All right.
I love Lady Jane too, but
everything I've like brought up, my friend who's in the comments is like, I just reminded you about that and just wanting credits for it. But Lady Jane has one of the best lines.
Yeah.
I want to ruin it.
I know. But I think we have Jace's, maybe like a whole episode on like reestablishing, like, here's the Eyrie, here's Winterfell and stuff. And then coming back and be like, oh, fuck, Luke's dead. And then episode 2 is Blood and Cheese. Rob, don't look into that.
No, I've heard a lot of people say Blood and Cheese.
Episode 1.
I don't think so. No, you have to establish those characters before so that we care.
It's episode 1.
It's episode 2, I think.
I will put my.
I'll if we lived in states.
To be fair, when we first started talking the show, you guys thought Viserys was dead within the first 2 episodes.
No, I
You
never
can't
said
tell-
that. I
Are
said
you
they're
guys
doing it in
are
the
you
last
guys
episode.
saying like don't get used to these characters and stuff like that? Or maybe it was about
Oh,
speeding
still
them
don't
up
get
or something like
still
that.
don't get used to them.
Yeah. But that was like we had the younger ones for 4 or 5 episodes,
5
right?
episodes,
Yeah.
Robert Snark, if that is your real name,
It isn't.
I believe
It
I
is, it
told
is.
you
My
when
Christian
we after the first 2 episodes, I said like something on the lines of the best character isn't even born yet.
Right.
And that
Yeah.
was Aemond. That's Aemond. That's
Yeah.
Aemond One Eye. And then after Aemond showed up,
Blinky.
I was like, ooh, he's the
Yeah,
best. And I couldn't tell anyone why yet.
Yeah, Rob calls him Blinky.
yeah,
Oh,
it's just
good old-
easier.
Good old Blinky Targaryen.
Yeah. Are you glad that they showed him with his little blue eye there?
Yes, I just
Yes.
was talking to you about that last
Absolutely.
week.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
I told Snark last week, I said, the really cool thing is I thought in this episode they were going to like show the sapphire and stuff. It would have been made a lot of sense, but then they didn't. And I was like, you know what? That's probably a tough effect. And they're spending a lot of money on dragons.
This is actually the first time it's even brought up in the books that his eye has a sapphire is when he reveals it at Storm's End.
See,
So-
I imagined that they were going to move that forward because the Storm's End thing was going to have Vagar. We were going to have 2 dragons.
Honestly, I thought the Storm's End thing was going to be the beginning of next season. I really didn't think. And then it was when I saw it only in the trailers, I was like, oh, they're doing that? I was very excited. Can we talk anime villains for a second, specifically
Yes.
Aben? So when it comes to his eye, I
Maybe we
cheered.
can't.
My wife looked at me weird. Are you okay, Rob?
Yeah.
Okay. My wife looked at me weird, like, so what? He's got a sapphire in his eye. Why is that a big deal? I'm like, because this is TV. This is Game of Thrones. And she's like, what? I'm like, there was an anime villain in the Game of Thrones show, right? It was Euron Greyjoy, and he had an eye patch over one eye in the books, and he has the demon eye, the death eye, and then he has the smiling eye, and he switches them off when he's like either being evil or not evil, and he drinks hallucinogens, and he sacrifices a bunch of priests for a giant blood orgy sacrifice, and he's just the most evil dude in the world of the books. He's an anime villain who's trying to bring on the apocalypse, and in the show they turn him into a finger in the bum pirate, and it angered me. Nothing I said was false there. They turned him in the finger in the bum pirate, and it angered me so much where I was like, if this is their chance, this is their anime villain. This is the over-the-top, crazy, weird eye, like, you know, Odin symbolism and Blood Raven symbolism and all this cool symbolism in a character like they had with Euron. They better not turn him into a finger in the bum pirate, and I'm so glad they didn't.
Oh, boy.
That's the difference between
Also,
the
the worst name if you're going to be a pirate to be named Finger in the Bum.
I am Finger in the Bum pirate.
Like, oh, we're really frightened.
Sorry, it's either that or Blackbeard, and somebody already stole that. So the only thing I do as well is like, beep, beep.
Can I talk about my favorite thing from this episode? That
No,
was
you may not.
About the dragon.
We're out of
fight?
time. So, guys, we'll see you. All right, go ahead.
I loved Taco. Last time you were on this show was the first time we went to Dragonstone, and I was like, you know what? Stannis did one thing right. He put that big ass table in there, and then you reminded me that was already there.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Stannis should have been using candles on that table the whole time. That was so cool.
That was such a cool effect. That was such a cool. Yeah, but he also like banged somebody on top of it. You think that it would have got hot?
She's a fire person.
Oh, she's immune to fire. Yeah. I almost said fire in the bum, but I've been.
Oh my god!
But
there's a way of getting that.
Every time from the first.
Is it my name?
Oh my god!
Sorry, Dave. Sorry.
From the first time that we're at that table, every time we're at that table, I love. From the first time where Daemon is around the table rallying the troops and Rhaenyra is screaming, having a miscarriage in the other room.
So chilling. I know. So bad.
To the next time where they're like, where Rhaenyra is like, let's not do a war. That would be dope. And then Corlys comes in and is like, but war? And she's like, nah.
I got a question for the non-book reader. We call them non-bookies here.
Yeah.
And we shame them. We are very elitist gatekeepers. But anyways,
Guys, I don't even know how to read. Just like a Baratheon. Oh my god.
He only got his grade 4, guys. It's not a big deal.
In Manitoba, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
All right.
I could have been a doctor.
What, judging completely just off the show, what is the age gap between Corley's and Rainey's?
Well, it's so hard to tell with Corley's because
He's got the white hair.
got the white hair.
Yeah, that's Valerian. It's
Jeez.
white always. It's always white.
See, I wouldn't think it's very much, but I don't know. 4 years, 5 years.
When they got married, she was 16 and he was like 37. Yeah. So there's a giant age gap, and during the start of the war, he's like 72. I might be getting slightly off. I might be a digit or two off. But well, I kind of wanted it. Like, I got nothing against the casting, and I'm definitely not going to say stupid crap like they should have made him black. I really don't care. But I think they should have made him older, and I think they should have made Rainey's dark hair. Like, that's what I'm mad about. I want him to be a 70-year-old man.
Well, 2 things. You can't give Rainey's black hair because you need to show how powerful Valerian or Targaryen seeds are, because the seed is strong, and that's what people remember.
I disagree with that so much, but yeah, keep going.
And then you can't cast a
Jon
very
Snow
old...
didn't have blonde hair.
Yep, correct. But Rainey's did have black hair.
Yeah, okay. But that's okay. We're talking about TV shows, and that one was for a surprise. And you can't make Corlys super old because you cast this actor and then you give him this Sea Snake spin-off series that they're working on.
Yeah.
Rob, we talked. There's no way we haven't talked about this.
He accomplishes all of that before he's 20 or 35.
Yeah.
You need to cast a 17, 18-year-old for that. I'm sorry, but you do. You need to cast a child. Because the whole point is that he's way too young to be sailing across, like, around the planet. Like,
hey, Taco, I agree.
He doesn't actually go around. That's someone.
No, because Westeros, the world of Westeros, flat.
No, freaking not even close.
Just fall off the edge.
Yep.
Not Westerling. Oh my god, I'm not going to remember her name. She went around.
Yeah. Oh my god. Allegedly, she took some dragon eggs.
Alyssa Farman. There you go.
Yeah.
Alyssa Farman allegedly sold some dragon eggs, got an awesome ship, and went all the way around.
But I'm telling you this right now, it's going to be that guy in the spin-off series. I'm sorry, but like that's why you cast him like middle-aged.
Yeah, but how cool would it be if this 72-year-old dude comes in and just starts like, all right, this is what we do. And it's like, oh, we got the sea snake. Like, he's supposed to be a legend. He's...
That's one thing I haven't gotten from him is a legendary. So I guess that he's like he runs the Driftmark throne and stuff like that. Like, I get all those things, but I like in that he has the biggest fleet in Westeros or whatever it is.
They kind of established in, I think it was episode 2 when he's talking to Daemon about how he brought his house up, but he completely did. Like, he built where they are, High Tide is completely built by him. They were staying in somewhere else. Like, he literally brought like House Velaryon all the way up to the richest house in the Seven Kingdoms. And he did it by these 9 great voyages where finally, like, he sailed all around, he went everywhere. And then just finally on the last one, he brings like a bunch of extra stuff and he's like, I'm just going to get stuff to sell. And then just like goes all the way to ET and gets all this crazy stuff no one's ever seen, and elephants and spices and all this crap. And then brings it back, sells it all. And he's like, hey, Lannisters, what's it like being the second richest house?
Man, I wish. Man, when I had for 1 week and then I took it off my slides, I had the gif of Cersei saying, I really wanted those elephants. I had that in here. I used it one time and then it never came up again. I so wish I still had that.
Yeah,
how dare you, sir? How dare you? At it.
Taco, Sorry?
We did pretty good, right? Is there anything else? Like what you said.
I gotta say, I also really some changes they've made from the books about like who brings the crown, the Eric and Arik of it all. I really like.
I like that.
I love the Kingsguard being intimidated by Daemon, and you get that great scene where he says, "Hey, you say you're not going to serve Rhaenyra now? Caraxes he'll just kill you. You turn later, but it's going to hurt, dog. It's not going to be a fun time."
Okay. First off, he goes, the words he said was, "I'll give you a clean death."
Yeah.
There's a dragon behind you. Wait, you're gonna cut my head off? No, you're not. You're gonna feed me to a dragon. That's not a clean death. That's a horrible death.
Well, ask Luke. It could have been fine.
What part of Luke should I ask?
Hey, there are some scholars who believe that he survived the fall and he lived as a fisherman who doesn't remember who
not
he
a
is.
thing.
It is. No,
not even
it
in the
is.
books.
It's in
Luke
some
living? That is not.
No, that's in some. It's not like in Fire and Blood, but it's in one of the other stories. And they're like, and Lucerys Valerian, he fell from the sky. And some say he lived the rest of his days as a fisherman, not remembering his princely heritage.
When the dragon goes poof, the human goes poof too.
No,
the human doesn't just tank that.
You ever seen
the dragon explodes?
You ever seen Aladdin where he takes the carpet and he goes woo and he falls down totally?
Yeah, I only saw one
dragon
wing spinning around.
This is devolving. Yeah, because Vhagar and swallowed everything else.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Rob, any other thoughts? And then we can do predictions for season 2, which we're not getting until 2024. So
that's a while. We get to have.
Is that actually confirmed? That's what everybody's saying, but I haven't heard that actually.
They haven't even started filming yet, so I have a hard time believing.
What about the Sea Snake show? Have they started filming that?
No, that's still the Jon Snow show.
I think a year and a half.
Yeah, I think
shows do this all the time. They don't get brought up until the end, and they still find a way to film it. We're not starting from scratch anymore. It's season 2.
No, but there was also the one of the producers or writers, I forget who it was, said that season 2 going forward isn't going to be so much of a slow burn as the first season. It's going to be more, and this was the part that scared me, where they said it's going to be more like mid-season Game of Thrones. And I'm like, all right, what part of mid-season are we talking about? What part of mid-season? We talking 3-4? Because I'll love that. Or are we talking 5-6? What are we talking about?
I respect your line. I do. It was a good line.
I would say 3-4 would be the mid, or 4-5.
No, not 4-5.
No,
5,
the show. The death of Tywin really changes things on the show.
The Watchers on the Wall. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I got something I want everybody to know going forward. Okay? This show is going to be the darkest television show that I've ever watched. There is zero good. There is no happiness. There is literally nothing I'm excited about, like positive-wise. And I had to tell my wife. My wife's like, wow, is this show just going to be super dark? I'm like, yeah, I don't even think you should watch forward. Like, I know her, and it might be just a little too messed up. Because it's nothing but war. Every character you like is going to die. Every character period's going to die. They're all going to die. It's just vicious, nasty war.
Not every character. There are some characters who make it to the end who I like.
All right, sorry. I can't say it.
You can't say it. We both know, but
Mushroom's going to make it.
No, Mushroom's never going to be on the show.
Anymore. Yeah, Mushroom's going to make. Hey, can we talk about Iron Rod? Because we totally went past Iron Rod.
Sure.
He's sorry, it's just for a mushroom joke. And I love it so much. Dave might know where I'm going, but he's part of the small council. He's the guy who isn't a Lannister, and his name is Iron Rod.
Sure.
And the joke is, they all say that he got the name Iron Rod because as a master of laws, he's really like stern. He's like an iron rod. You can't bend him. But Mushroom says it's because of his stiff member, and he is so vigorous that he's had like 6 wives, and the last one died of exhaustion. That's one of my favorite lines.
That Mushroom has a potty mouth.
That Mushroom
absolutely really does.
Yeah. But I wanted to say that because I love it so much.
Yeah. So Rob, I'll throw it to you for like season 2 predictions that we're not going to get for a while.
All right.
Also, actually, before I do. No, I won't. That's a spoiler. There's a casting thing. It's a potential casting thing, but I don't want to say who it is. All right, Rob, season 2. What do you want to see?
Well, I want to see fighting.
You'll get it.
You're getting that,
Guys. The time for diplomacy is over.
Yeah,
it
I'm
is
hungry
time
for some-
for families. If they can marry each other, they can murder each other. That's what it's all about.
I know. I'll just say I'm hungry for some cheese and I'm thirsty for some blood.
It's episode 2, man.
It's episode 1.
I'm telling you, that's gonna be episode 1's gonna be Luke's Jason's mighty adventure and Dragon Seeds.
They're not gonna do the mighty adventure all in one episode.
Yes, they are.
It's like half a season.
I've
gone
heard,
for like a forever.
I've heard that Kragan Stark is pretty cool.
This is my favorite top 3 Starks.
Yeah,
Easily
that was actually who I was saying. Who I didn't want to.
I know.
But no, there's a rumor that Henry Cavill has been. I hate it as well because he's too old.
Absolutely, he's way too old. Cregan's supposed to be a badass 20-year-old.
Yeah, way too old, but I'd love it. But at the same time, I'd kind of love it. I hate it, but I'd kind of love it.
Nah, it's too witchery.
It's exactly. He could he's already filming over there. Just go from one set, put on an extra fur. Like, he's good.
Yeah, it's have the same goddamn costume and no one would ever notice. Not in a million years.
The other rumor for Henry Cavill is that he might be a flashback for Aegon the Conqueror.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I do too. But, Rob, sorry, I keep interrupting you. Predictions. What do you want to see other than fighting?
I'm predicting that Henry Cavill is going to be Dudas Snark or whatever his name is.
Dudass? Good old Dudass. Good old Uncle Dudass.
Kragan Stark. No, I believe, is this going to be a thing like you said before? Who's going to be on the throne at the end of the thing?
Yeah, season 2 ends. Who is sitting on the Iron Throne? Currently, we got Aegon Targaryen.
If everyone's murdering everybody, I'm going to go. I'm going to say it could be, I don't see that Jace guy. If we can kill off little Luke, I don't see Jace being anything.
You've been calling for Jace's head for weeks.
Yeah, I'm going to get it right at some point. I'm going to say little baby
Joffrey?
Viserys?
Oh, baby Viserys.
Yes. I'm going to say there's going to be another Viserys on the throne.
Okay.
Just because, throw a fucking dart for me. There's and also I remembered the name. Okay, and there's another Aegon too for some reason. Could be
Aegon's older than Viserys.
Oh, I could have said this. I could have said Aegon and just shrugged my shoulders because
one of them,
every third character on the fucking show is Aegon.
Wait, so let me tell you. I'm going to tell you one thing about lineage, and then you can tell me this guy or which one, if it changes. Aegon the younger is older than Viserys, the really, really young. Do you still think that this little baby will get it before this baby does?
Also, keep in mind, Rob, that I have told you that
3 years old.
The whole war lasts 2 years. So you think a 4-year-old will be on the Iron Throne at the end of season 2?
It could be the only one left. If everyone's killing everybody.
Yeah.
It's like this is the only one. This guy fell asleep under a bed the day everyone went stabbing through everyone and stuff like that. Like, oh, yeah, he was having a nap. He was done. 2 years. Probably not the youngest of the kids. I don't see it being one of new Joffrey's kids with his sister because they can't be too bright.
Oh, Aegon, not the child named Joffrey.
Right. Yes. Sorry. Yes. Aegon, the current king. Aegon the second, not him. Not one of his dumb kids that he has with his sister.
Oh, one of his kids has 6 fingers and 6 toes, which is awesome.
Yeah. That, you know what? That adds up. That is the one. That is the one genetic thing they've gotten right about this whole goddamn show.
I want to. If I got a question, really quick. If incest people in our time, I don't want to say Alabamans, but you could
say Albertans
or Albertans. Does the Appalachian Trail go that far? No. If crazy incest rednecks in our time looked like Targaryens, would it be frowned upon? I don't think it would. I think if somebody's like, look at that gorgeous man. He must be an incest baby. Like,
Isn't that line?
I think more
Isn't that
people would
line
do it.
from The Simpsons? Says, "Why do you want to marry your cousin? Because they're so attractive."
Yeah.
Hey, look, somebody's cute cousin.
You know,
It's Shelbyville. I love that episode.
if those redneck Alabamans also had weapons
Dragons?
of mass destruction, yeah, probably.
They got meth labs that blow up on accident. That's kind of
Yeah, but they mostly only kill themselves.
And I can't say that. We have meth labs in the north as well. So,
I feel like Tormund in when they go beyond the wall, that's not the north. This is the north.
oh, so North Dakota isn't the north?
No.
Canada is?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you got people in northern territories of Greenland who are like, oh, Manitoba ain't the north.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm sure the White Walkers were like, fuck it, you guys say it's the north? We're from the land of always winter.
All,
guys, come on.
all three people in northern territories.
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah.
Do they got cities up there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yellowknife.
sure.
Really? Populations in Chick-fil-A?
Rob, I said Yellowknife. Could you name another Northwest Territory city?
Oh,
Northwest Territory is what it's called?
Well, that's
All
one
right,
of them. We have three. We got Nineveh, Yukon.
I know. Whitehorse is the Yukon.
Mhm.
They also have Dawson City up there.
Oh, yeah,
All right.
Dawson City. That's good. All right.
Northwest Territories, I'm not seeing anything.
No, there's nothing.
right.
They even split it in half,
Nothing
and nobody
popping
noticed.
up at all. Oh, Yellowknife. Chalk.
No,
No,
no.
I don't know.
That's
All right,
no.
Taco, without giving too much away, what do
Oh,
you
no.
want to see in season 2?
Mushroom.
I don't want to.
Mushroom.
Well, I know what it is, so it's not like I'm taking stabs at the dark. I don't know if I should answer
That's fair.
because I actually know. I'm sorry.
Maybe you want to see everybody just get along.
I'll be very cryptic.
Okay.
I want the war to get absolute full swing. I think we're gonna get blood and cheese in the first episode, which I've already said. But I want all the Riverlandy fighting to start.
Yeah.
And I want all the I want it to here. I want it
Which
to
one's
end.
Riverland?
I want
That's
it to
the
end
Tully.
with the this is for you, Dave. I want it to end with the dragon seeds starting up. I want to get up to that part of the war where they're
Oh.
that desperate.
I think the dragon seeds, like I think that's part of
Right
episode
away?
1.
Oh
of
my
season
god.
2. I think
When
they're
they're
gonna
like-
fast track that because that's part of why they showed.
Oh no, I mean when they're starting to like do their thing. Not like
Oh.
join.
Oh, with like
When they're
Hugh
starting
Hammer-
to
Hugh
you know,
Hammer
get all-
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, the Hugh Hammer stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know.
The when the hammer strikes the dragon crap
Yep.
prophecy.
Hammer.
I think it's gonna end with everything gonna be bad.
Yeah.
And then I think season 3 is gonna end with it way more bad. And all of season 3 is gonna be like, what else could go wrong? Like that's
Yeah.
I think that's what season 3 is gonna be.
And then season
And then
4.
season 4, everybody's dead, and then one of the babies is gonna be like, all right, I guess I'll
Season
do it.
4
Yeah.
is the Winter Wolves coming down and being like, "What the fuck happened, guys?"
Yeah, guys. I'm gonna murder all of you for murdering everybody.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
If I kill
Cregan Stark.
everybody, it's fine.
I could talk about how much I
Yeah.
love Cregan.
I love Craig and Stark so much.
Here's a question for you, and then we definitely can end. We've already met one of the Muppet Tullys. We've met
I don't think
Grover.
we're meeting Elmo. I don't think
Do
we're
you
meeting
think
Elmo.
they're gonna do the names? We have to meet. We don't need to meet Elmo, but Kermit and Oscar are characters. Stark, let me tell you right
I
now,
think we.
George R. R. Martin
So
named
Cookie
the
Monster
entire
could be Cookie Monster Tully.
George R.
That-
R. Martin named the
that's Kristen
entire
Cole's
Tully
other
family
name.
tree off of Sesame Street characters.
Yeah.
Because he never thought this would be a show, right?
Yeah.
So, do you think they're doing it, or do you think they're just gonna have
Why
Grover and
not?
then they're just gonna name them like Ted and Fred?
They
I
can't get
think-
any more
here's the thing.
ridiculous with
I
names.
feel like they could show
Kermit,
us,
Elmo, and Oscar is pretty bad.
I feel like they could give us Oscar because that's like if you know, you know, and Oscar could.
And we already
like-
met Grover.
Yeah, and then but no, I mean Grover and then Oscar
And he's cute too.
is like the you like because Grover's out there enough that like as a like medieval name that's like okay, But like once you see Oscar,
you say you can't do Kermit and Elmo.
You can't do
Kermit.
You can't do Kermit and
100%
Elmo.
do. You could do Kermit.
But I think we'll see Oscar, and he'll be the stand-in for.
They better not change. They better not change. I think they should keep all the names and do them all.
To be fair, though, I guess they did Dick on, so they can do anything.
And they made him our actual characters. Not even a character in the books.
Yeah,
he's just Dick on Charlie.
Yeah,
little boy with a badass name.
That is a good name.
I am excited to see you all again in 2024 when House of the Dragon returns.
Big long Santa Claus beards.
Yeah, that's it. I ain't shaving till season 2.
My 2-year-old daughter will be 30 with kids of her own.
Oh, you're doing some time jumps in North Dakota.
Yeah. My son Aegon.
Oh wait, no, I thought you meant the next book.
Yeah.
Oh, no. He said any day now. Any day.
No, he didn't. He just said 80. He just said 2/3.
Yeah,
he just said that.
Did you see?
That's not any day.
Did you see that this year though? They're coming out with the story of Fire and Blood, which is just the actual book for House of the Dragon.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's what he's been spending his time on.
No, they were turning it into a coffee table.
Man.
They're turning Fire and Blood into a big book like World of Ice and Fire.
Oh, is that what it is? Then I misunderstood what I read.
Yep, it's a big pictures coffee table book, which sounds awesome.
That's really nice.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
Yeah.
But it's not any. There's nothing new to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're not getting Fire and Blood Volume 2, which I
didn't think it would be Volume 2.
Because I'll tell you, the fire in that one in Volume 2, it's black. It's black fires.
See, that is actually, I like the House of the Dragon.
How long is the Fire and Blood book then? Is it like years wise?
Oh, years? 150, 200, almost 200.
Yeah.
How long before the events of Game of Thrones does it say?
173 according to the first episode.
No, that's this. But when Fire and Blood ends, about 200. Yeah, 100.
No. Yes.
I am perplexed.
Yeah, I'm confused too. Whatever.
Great.
Who cares? No one cares.
Taco, where can people find you?
Glad you asked because I got a really awesome weekend ahead of me. I'm gearing up for the return of the Geek Gauntlet, so you can go over on Thursday at 8:00 Central Time on something to talk about. You can totally watch and vote in the Geek Gauntlet. And also right now, if you go over there, subscribe, you can see that I'm already asking questions of, well, can this guy beat this guy? And then whoever wins that will get an automatic vote at the beginning of the tournament. And not only that, but I'm also doing our Let's Talk About the Vikings NFL football team, where we're doing, even though it's a bye week, we're talking about them anyways. The Vikings are doing good this year. They're doing great.
Mm-hmm.
What are you mad about?
I'm a Lions fan and it makes me sad.
It's not our fault.
No,
I love the Lions.
You're sad.
I thought that they were going to have a good
they're
year.
4 points every year.
Yeah, but I mean, at least the Packers are losing for once. Okay,
Yeah,
but anyways, and then on Halloween, I have my every horror movie. It's not every, but horror movie monsters Pokemon typing list is coming out on Halloween. Yeah. I haven't filmed it yet, but yeah.
Spoilers: they're all ghost and dark types.
I had to just make dark type like how I did fighting type for my Mortal Kombat characters.
Yeah.
If I got nothing else, I guess I'll make them dark. Like demons are dark. There's no way I can say not. But just like Bruce the Shark, he's probably water dark for anyone other list. But this list, I'm just making them water, right?
Yeah.
Like Aubrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors, just grass.
Yeah.
Not
even poison grass.
What other grass? Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, just grass.
Yes.
They're on there. Yeah.
Nice.
This is actually my most diverse typing list ever. It almost is everything. I think there's no rock. I think it's the only thing that I didn't get. There's 2 types I didn't get, but I did really good. There's bug, there's poison because of the Brundlefly, and there's ground because of the graboids from Tremors.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I think I even made the descendant crawlers from the Descent into ground as well. Anyways, check out the Geek Outlet on Thursday. That's all I'm saying. Check it out. And yeah.
Rob,
Last
what about
one
you?
remaining gets killed at the end.
My.
Yeah, no, everybody else does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Last one
Watch
gets
it.
to live.
I like it when Rob watches anything that has to do with pop culture because he just goes off of his own Rob logic. I think Superman beats Goku. Why? I don't know, man. The cape. Okay.
Well, Superman does beat Goku.
Well, not really.
Yeah, it's really this,
I don't even know what Goku is. I know what Superman is.
Well,
I know he could beat him. Because he has truth, justice, and the American way on his side.
Yeah, you Canadians love that. All right. Hey, Rob, where can they find you online?
You can find me right here. And have you seen this, guys?
There you go.
You know what? You know it's a remarkable follow. You can follow me at Snark Yeti. I don't do anything on it.
You like my
don't.
stuff sometimes.
I say, yeah, I like my buddies' things, and that's about it. And sometimes I retweet it if I see it. But I hardly ever go on the goddamn thing, so, it's hit or miss. Yeah, you got Have You Seen This here? Doing a bunch of things over at the LGR network. Do things with 50 every once in a while. Our guest next week. The big Power of the Doctor. Jodie Whittaker wrap-up show. I know that Dave's looking forward to that because he knows all the Doctor Who's inside now.
I know all the Doctor Who's. I know all about the Daleks and David Krumholtz.
I don't know what that is.
I know all of them. I know the scarf one. I know the lady one. I know the old one. I know the
one.
Damon Targaryen one.
Ooh.
Oh, and the David Tennant. Actually, not that one.
How dare you?
I know them all.
I didn't know that was his kid. I had to be told that was his kid.
I did. I had to tell you that was his kid.
Whose kid?
I thought that
The
David
original
Tennant's kid was the teenage Aegon.
original Aegon was David Tennant's kid.
What?
Yeah. The one that looks like Timothy Chalamet? Yeah, that was David Tennant's kid.
The Window Masturbator?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Tennant's kid.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he's 19. He's
Oh, good for him.
We're not only fun, we're informative.
He came a long way, You start off masturbating in a window, next thing you know, you're David Tennant's kid.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's the order.
Yeah, David Tennant.
You could have ended this show a long time ago. It's not my fault.
He goes and
watch
adopts.
that
He
scene.
goes and adopts masturbating window kids.
Yeah.
He has a bunch of them. There's a lot more of those than you'd think.
You can't find me anywhere. So, join us next week where we're going to talk about Power of the Doctor with 50 Shades of Geek. Make sure you subscribe to Northern Entertainment on YouTube. Taco, thank you so much for joining us. This was a lot of fun.
Always.
Thanks for having me.
Never again.
I didn't even tell you how much I hate Disney Plus shows, especially the Star Wars and the Marvel.
Oh no!
Yeah,